Hey gang, Rotted East Coast Lumberjack. Playing some tunes in my ears. So I did this video a long time ago, but I want to do it again because it's been so long ago it's hard to find it. So, how to make a wedge, okay? What I do is when I take my handle bolts, so when I get my handle bolts, this is a bolt of wood, okay? So it's the outside piece where the bark is, and of course I make them 36 inches long, so when they dry, if they check at the ends, when I make your 30 to 32 inch handle, or whatever it is, 26, I cut off some off this end and some off this end. Now there's no waste in the East Coast Lumberjack shop. So once they come off, they look like this. Okay, square block. And of course the grain is all running nice on them. So what I do is I square them up. Okay, so put them on my bandsaw. Now when you're messing around with wedges, you gotta be careful because your wood can move a lot on you. So all I do is I hold the flat piece down and cut off the end. So now I have a square block because I stand it up and I cut this side off and I cut this side off. Okay? So that gives me a square block. Once I have the square block, like this, bring you over here and show you what I'm doing next. So once I have the square block like this, I'll take my, usually a sharp pencil, or I'll get a pen. And then I need a straight edge. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to draw my wedge lines on the block. Okay, so a little bit of an angle. And you want to leave just a whisker of a, you don't want that to come to a perfect point. You want to leave just a little bit of room at the bottom. Okay, because you've got the width of your bandsaw that you've got to account for. If you don't account for that, you wind up running into your next wedge quite a lot. Okay, so I'm just going to draw my wedges on this little piece of block. So on this one little block, I'm going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'm going to get 8 wedges out of this. Okay, now I'm going to get almost the same number out of this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so there they are. Okay, all my little wedges drawn up. Now I have no idea whether you guys will stay on the bandsaw while I'm cutting. Okay, it's gonna be a little rough. So what I'll do, you can bear with me just for 2 seconds. I'll take a few of my milk crates and I'll stand it up here beside me. And with these 3, number 1, you won't vibrate. And number 2, you'll be able to see what's going on. Okay. Beautiful. So just let me get my muffs on. And I'll show you how we do this. Now, a little bit of advice from the East Coast Lumberjack. This is delicate stuff, okay, because your fingers are very tight to your bandsaw, okay? So, what I use 7 teeth per inch. That's how many teeth I have on my bandsaw. There's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So 7 TPI. 7 TPI cuts ash beautifully, okay? It cuts hickory quite well also, but it grabs hickory. When I make, you'll see that I'm using ash all the time for my wedges, because if I use hickory here, when it grabs it, it'll kick it and pull my fingers right in towards that blade. So, you've got to feed it very gently. Keep your hands on the outside of the work, start it very gently, and just make sure it's flat. If it's not flat on your bed, on your bandsaw bed, it will kick and you're going to get your fingers. Okay, so that's the key thing. When I'm putting this in here, that block has got to be flat and firm. I can't wiggle that anywheres. Okay, so that way I know it's safe. Because once you start over top of your little hole here, that's plastic. As you know, the insert's plastic. Okay, so you want the bed around that holding it nice and firm when you start. Okay, so that's how I make wedges. It's quite easy. There's 8 nice wedges there really quick. And, you know, they're tapered well. The other good thing about wedges and making them this way in the bandsaw is my bandsaw lines go across the wedge. So when you tap it into your axe, that acts as friction to keep it from popping back out again. So everything I do about these wedges makes them pretty flippin' useful. Okay, they're not really smooth. They're rough along the sides from the bandsaw lines, those teeth lines. And that's what holds that wedge in there nice and firm. So you don't have to glue them. Okay? And I also would not put linseed oil or something on them that's going to cause them to pop out. Okay? So that's wedges from the old East Coast Lumberjack. Hope you learned something this week.